Excuse me. Sir, hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Rajshekhar gar meerena?
No, sir. My name is Shivakumar, sir.
Shivakumar. Oh.
Yes.
DSP.
No, sir. No, sir. My name is Gadde Shivakumar.
Okay.
Let me come on the video. Wait a second, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Welcome. Today, let us discuss block number 4. And in the next class, block number 5. In block number 4, there are 3 units. That means 3 lessons. Lesson number 8 deals with the concept of organization or any corporation, segmentation of publics or the stakeholders, as we call them. What is meant by corporate public relations? What is meant by corporate communications? And then elements of corporate public relations, programs, major areas of corporate public relations, and on the go, employee relations, customer relations, financial public relations, community relations, etc., including global relations in lesson number 8. In lesson number 9, that is unit number 9, we will be discussing global competitive marketing environment and the need for corporate social responsibility, that is CSR. What is the concept of corporate citizenship and how it is different from individual citizenship, public relations, and corporate social responsibility, and the benefits of practicing corporate social responsibility for the organization or a corporate body. And in unit number 10, we'll be discussing the industrial policies right from 1948 till 2020, and the growth and development of industries in India, emergence of other new industrial climate, and the growth of private sector, public and private sector partnerships, PPP we call them, government relations, role of PR in public sector, and media strategies and tactics in the practice of public relations. So in this 1 hour, let us try to cover these 3 units, because for us in the next class, we'll be left with one block that is 2 units, 2 lessons. Start with corporate public relations and corporate communication. The major areas of corporate public relations are, as we see, there is not much difference. So to say, there is no difference between public relations and corporate public relations. If it is practiced in a government organization, it is merely public relations, and if it is practiced in a corporate organization, it is called corporate public relations. And what is corporate communication? Any communication we adopt in dissemination of information to the targeted audience is called communication. And if it is in government, it is government communication. Maybe it is exclusively called as development communication. And if it is in corporate area, corporate world, it is called corporate communication.
Policies.
That's all.
Or policy. Maybe
Yeah.
policy.
Employee relations, customer relations, financial public relations, community relations, global public relations, creating favorable public opinion, and monitoring the communication are one and the same, whether it is government organization or a corporate organization. Now, what is the concept of organization, or for that matter, a corporation? Organization is any structure, any entity comprising of a group of people, maybe an institution or an association, and that has a collective goal, the vision, a mission, some aims, some objectives, and that is linked to some external environment, not that particular group of people working for a benefit, working with an aim, but they are connected to the general public. Then it becomes an organization. It is also defined as an organization that is manned by a group of individuals who work together towards a common goal. And there are umpteen number of definitions on what an organization is. Whatever it is, whatever is the definition, a group of people with a common goal is called corporation. And in Latin, corpus means a body. Habeas corpus, you might have heard about habeas corpus, means bring the body. It's a writ. Corpse is a dead body. Corpus is a body. So this is all, this is the origin of corporation. And the corporation is not that old, but it is of recent origin. And now if you look at the segmentation of publics or the stakeholders, it is very, very important in practicing public relations, because the communication shall be given to the stakeholders, the targeted publics. Therefore, it is necessary for any practitioner to segment the publics concerned to that particular organization, because practicing public relations with general public is a myth. There shall always be a targeted public, a specified public with whom you are going to communicate. Then it is necessary for segmentation of public into internal public, external public. If it is internal public, here there is again vertical segmentation. If it is the external publics, you have umpteen number of segments like buyers, sellers, suppliers of raw materials, government, banking institutions, then legislature, political organizations, everybody connected. They're all called stakeholders because they have a stake in your organization, and they get affected if something goes wrong internally, and they get benefited if something is happening beneficial to them. Therefore, they are called stakeholders. The publics are those who have a stake in an organization, or as I told you, they are affected by the organization, or they can affect the organization. So employees internally and others externally, these two broader segments of public are there. And the employees are more important and equally important as that of the external public, because employees are called the assets beyond the balance sheet figures. In balance sheet figures, you will find only the financial values and certain other things, but employees cannot be found in the balance sheet. Therefore, they are called the assets beyond the balance sheet figures, because employee relations, employee communication is very important, because they create the face of the corporate organization, because they are the people to implement the corporate vision, mission, and also the corporate social responsibility, corporate governance, corporate brand, corporate philanthropy. In all these things, the employees are involved, so much so the external public. And what is corporate public relations, corporate communication? As I told you, if public relations is practiced in a corporate organization, then it is called corporate public relations. And the communication channels that we use, the media mix we adopt, they are called corporate communication. If it is in a corporate organization, very simple line: the government and the corporate organization. If this is government public relations, that is corporate public relations. Corporate communications could be defined as a management function, just like a public relations, like marketing, finance, operations dedicated to the dissemination of information to the key constituencies, the execution of corporate strategy, the very purpose, the very business, the damn business of a communicator appointed as a corporate communicator or a public relations practitioner is to give out the information about the organization and seek favorable public opinion. If necessary, they persuade them, give them the truth, tell them the facts, and then slowly you seek their approval towards your organization. That is the very business of public relations department within an organization. Then look at the difference between corporate public relations and corporate communications. There is no difference. Practicing relations with the public is corporate public relations concerned to the corporate organization. Corporate communication is the communication strategies, techniques that we adopt for the benefit of the corporation is called corporate communication. And what are the elements of corporate public relations program? The same thing we have studied in block number 2. The similar things will happen here, just like analyze the situation, just is situation analysis, planning, program execution, feedback. These are all the steps we have studied in the previous class. The same things will happen here. First thing is to analyze the situation, that is situation analysis, or in other words, it is called fact finding. Fact finding. Analyze the situation with a standard thing like SWOT, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is a principle. This is a theory that we come across in administration every time. MBA graduates or the management people will always think of this SWOT analysis. This is an analysis. Strength of your organization or your own strengths. Weaknesses of your organization or your weaknesses. And what are the opportunities and threats? A good communicator, a good PR practitioner will convert threats into opportunities. That is called seizing the opportunities in favor of the organization. And then set your objectives. This is another step. These are all the elements in practicing corporate public relations. Set your objectives. What are the objectives? Every organization will have a set of objectives. And there will also be PR objectives. And these PR objectives will have to be in consonance with the overall objectives of the organization. Otherwise, you are failed. You cannot be different. Your PR objectives cannot be different from that of the corporate objectives already set. Therefore, you have to prepare, list out, set out your objectives to be in consonance with the overall objectives of the organization. Suppose your organization wanted to do X and your PR objective is in pursuance of Y, it cannot match. There will be a mismatch. Therefore, you have to follow X only. Then identify the targeted audience. Know your audience. Identify your audience. Your targeted audience. That means the public is very, very important in every organization. We come across every time, every year, the bankers will send across a notification saying that send KYC, send KYC, send KYC. So it is only to know the status of the customers. Similarly, we'll be identifying the targeted audience because in them we have business, to whom we have to communicate. In their well-being, our well-being is. Therefore, you have to identify the targeted audience from within the overall overall population. You have to identify your targeted. Then you will be communicating with them for your own reasons, for your own purpose. And there must be a strategy to execute whatever plan you have adopted, whatever plan you have made. See, for everything, just visualize, just visualize the case of corona vaccine or the polio drops. There is a strategy to execute, how to communicate with the people, where to bring them, how to administer the dosages. Everything is strategy. Everything is planned. Nothing goes unplanned. Unplanned things will not work. It will be a burden on the exchequer of whether it is government or the private organization. So there must be a proper plan. This plan, this strategy, these tactics will have to be advised to the management by the PR people or any communication manager, whatever is the designation. Forget about the designation. Every department will have its own designation, trendy, catchy designations. But what they do is to do listening, to communicate between, to be a bridge of information between the organization and the connected or the targeted public. Define the media to be used. This is every time this is we are coming across, we have to define the media to be used. Cut the coat according to cloth. This is a saying. So, similarly, whatever is the communication to be given to the targeted public, you first define the media, how the communication or the information to be disseminated, how to reach the information about the organization to the targeted public. Then you'll come to know what is the media that comes handy to communicate this. Sometimes it is social media, sometimes it is print media, sometimes it is electronic media, sometimes within electronic media it can be only TV or the radio, or sometimes all together, put together, whatever is convenient, whatever is needed, whichever fits according to the budget of the organization, you have to define them. And then set the calendar timeline. See, for everything in the plan, we have a calendar. What to do, what are the things to be done first? What are the things to be done next? And what follows later, and how to get the feedback. This is called calendar setting of timeline. And then budget, of course, is very important. And the last stage is evaluation of the program. First thing is fact-finding, situation analysis. And after everything is over, the communication campaign is over, or any campaign, whatever it is, when it is over, you will have to evaluate whether the return on investments is ensured or not. This is not only HR policy, PR policy, but also HR people also will do the same things. What are the major areas of corporate public relations? As usual, it is employee relations, because employees are important for anything on behalf of the organization, because they are the people, they are the ambassadors. They can either make or mar things. If they are satisfied, if you keep them in good moods, they will act on behalf of you as ambassadors happily, and your organization reputation will grow. If they are unhappy, just like we have seen several things like Allwins and certain other things, ECIL, these are all the organization as far as we know in Hyderabad city. The employees have spoiled the image, the reputation, the goodwill of the organization, because the employees were not maintained properly. They were not satisfied, not only in the terms of money, but similar ways the employees to be kept in confidence. That is the secret of success. Many employees, many organizations, many entrepreneurs, the single individual partner ownership, or many entrepreneurs that we know, polarity kind of things, this chain of some jewelry, or their secret is not only the business, their secret is holding the people together, their employees together. So employee relations is an important part in the practice of public relations, because through them we communicate everything. If they talk nonsense about the organization, that nonsense will go as a rumor and spoil the entire environment. If employees talk good about the organization, then it will cherish. So here, it is the reason why the organizations involve the employees in all CSR activities, because CSR activities are meant for community relations. What do the employees want to know? The employees expect information, simple information, what the organization is doing. If you suppress the information, if you conceal information, if you keep the information secret, there will be some kind of curiosity, and that curiosity will give rise to some rumors and different kinds of angles in there. And if you tell them from openly that this is our mission, this is our vision, yes, they will go ahead and they will be your definitely assets and help you in your growth. So that is the secret. And then there must be a planned communication always. What is first, what is next, what should follow later. And for employee relations and also for the external public communication, there are certain communication methods other than mainstream media like print, electronic, social media. You have magazines. They are called house journals. House journals are also of two kinds. One is internal house journal and one is the external house journal. Some organizations will use only one house journal for both the purposes, both internal and external. If you look at here are some names: Shubhayatra by Air India, Spice Route magazine for Spice, Go Getter for Go Air India, Andhra Bank, Magic Card, Singareni, Samacharam, Elixir. There are number of organizations with a number of sometimes one or two house journals. Their periodicity will differ. If one house journal is monthly, the other house journal can be quarterly or half yearly, or even newsletters can be weekly. So these are all the tools of communication. Besides house journals, pamphlets, booklets, annual reports, posters, advertisements in newspapers, features in newspapers, magazines are all called effective PR tools for maintaining good employee relations. If they are meant for employees internally, they are tools for maintaining employee relations. If they are meant for externally, they are external communication. Yes.
Sir, can these companies' annual report cannot be also called as PR tool?
Yeah, company annual report is also a best because it is the index. It conveys everything, the entire history of what has happened in the previous year, the year gone. Yes, annual report is also a publication. It is also a publication where the role of public relations practitioner or communication officer is there. Without him, the annual report will not come. So therefore, printing, editing, and publication of corporate publications, corporate literature is an exclusive paper for PR practitioners for MA MCPR course, MA Mass Communication and Public Relations. So editing and production of corporate literature, they're all publications. And important among them is annual report. Then face-to-face communication is also important. Customer relations, and the customer is the master. Customer is always right. You can recall what Gandhiji said. Customer is the very purpose of the business. You are for him, he is not for you. If he is satisfied, the customer is satisfied, your business is okay. If the customer is not satisfied, your business will cripple. See, gaining a new customer, retaining an old customer is as good as gaining a new customer, because the old customer, we know it in practicality also, in practice also. If you visit any jewelry shop, any cloth shop, how they receive you, how they treat you, because they wanted to retain old customer. Or if you are a new customer, he will try to retain you forever and forever. Okay. There are certain customers' rights, because this is the age of caveat venditor. Earlier, it was the age of caveat emptor. Emptor means buyer, venditor means seller. So some 40 years ago, the market was caveat emptor. So if you buy something, it is your risk. You cannot give it back. Once sold, the goods cannot be taken back. It is your risk. At the time of buying only, at the time of purchase only, you have to take every care. That was the situation some 40, 45 years ago. Prior to 1980, very specifically, because consumerism has started throughout the world during late 70s and early 80s. Consumerism. So now the market is caveat venditor. The buyer, the vendor, the seller must be aware. This is the reason why your Amazon, that and this, the online marketeers also have a provision that whatever is the defect, even if there is no defect, if you are not dissatisfied, if you do not like, if the product is different from what you have ordered, you can return it within 7 days or 14 days, whatever it is. It does mean that customers' interest is important. So this is the age of caveat venditor, not the caveat emptor. So these is the 6 basic rights of a customer is right to be protected against marketing of the goods, right to be informed about the quality, the information. Therefore, the label of any product in any container will bear all the information. If you do not give the information, you are liable for punishment if any customer goes to the court or a consumer forum. The right to seek redressal against these unfair trade practices, the right to consumer education, because the consumer ought to be educated by the seller, the right against consumer exploitation, the right to choose. Therefore, you have so many consumer forums at district level, state level, and national levels. Now they have been renamed as consumer commissions. From consumer forums, they have been renamed as consumer commissions 2-3 years ago. And customer relationship management. Now, this is part of public relations practice. Customer relationship management. Mind you, public relations is a management function, a strategic management function, a special management function, specialized management function, so to say. Therefore, customer relationship management, simply managing the relationship with your customer. Then customer satisfaction, as I told you, if they are satisfied, they will be after you. They will be loyal to your business. The brand loyalty is there. That is again another subject to be discussed. And customer relations tools are, again, what are the communication tools? Are the tools adopted and practiced for customer relations management also, like newspaper, magazine, advertisements, TV channels, films, narrowcast, broadcast, every other thing. Then financial public relations. It is very important. All said and done, ధనమూలం idam jagat. ధనమే ఈ జగత్తుకి మూలం అని చెప్తుంటారు. ఏ పని చేసినా వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ డూ, ఇట్ ఈస్ మెంట్ ఫర్ సమ్ రిటర్న్, ఎకనమిక్ రిటర్న్. అందుకనే మార్క్ ట్వైన్ ఎవరు అన్నారు, ఆల్ హ్యూమన్ రిలేషన్స్ ఆర్ ఎకనమిక్ రిలేషన్స్. Even the relationship between parents and children, mother and child, brother and sister, sister and brother, friend and friend, they are all meant for some economic relationship. If you do something, the return will be some other thing. Need not necessarily be in cash, need not necessarily be in gold, but some other help will be there. In expectation of that help only, you'll be doing something. Otherwise, ఈవెన్ చారిటీ, ఈవెన్ ఫిలాంథ్రపీ, దాన ధర్మాలు, భిక్షం వేసేది కూడా దేవుడి దగ్గర పుణ్యం తెచ్చుకుందామని. అంతే, అది కూడా ఒక ఎకనామిక్ రీజన్. అక్కడ పైకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత, ఆఫ్టర్ యూ గో అప్, there will be some concession, some considerable treatment by the God or whatever it is, the God matter. So this is the reason finance, money matters more. So what is financial relations, public relations, financial public relations? The Public Relations Society of America defined, some other things defined, UK Chartered Institute of Public Relations, they also defined different things differently. But all said and done, it is financial relations means as far as corporate organizations are concerned, they are called investor relations. They are called investor relations. How to get money from the society, how to invest it, how to distribute the profits. This is all relations, of course. The financial calendar is there, the tools are there, and again, the financial program. And as far as community relations is concerned, community consists of individuals. Another way of saying this is individuals make a community, and communities around, because geographically communities are surrounding, but the society is a bigger concept than community. The India as a society, the Indian society, you will say, but there are several communities within India. So community and society are degrees apart. So community relations for any organization is an opportunity to establish a partnership to build trust among those who utilize your products and services. There are two things, marketable things in the world. One is the product and the service, and any organization will be either producing things or extending their services. Wherever product is there, wherever service is there, wherever there is a need for communication and you are there as a public relations practitioner or communication manager. And that is the symbiotic relationship between the organization and the targeted public. And whatever you say, the importance of maintaining community relations will give you long-lasting benefits to the organizations. and then what community expects, what it needs. They are varied. The community needs, just like human wants, they are unlimited. But reduce it to 4 or 5 things. Employment opportunities for the local talent. Supposing you are establishing a big major organization, industrial unit. The local people expect that you will be providing some employment to them. If you look at the very recent example of Al Kabir, in Bataya, a mechanized slaughterhouse established in Rudraram on way to Sangareddy on the Bombay Highway. It's the best example that can be quoted for the community relations. They obtained all kinds of licenses from the central government, state government, local government, and fulfilled everything, constructed their factory according to the norms. And they have proposed that only culled animals, and culled animals means the useless animals only will be bought at a price from the farmers, and they will be cut according to the norms, clean it, and then export meat and earn foreign currency for the government, and pay taxes to the state government. Everything they said, they have explained, but people have not allowed it to work for almost 5 or 6 years after it has completed its construction. Later, they found it. Their workers also were brought from different places. Some experts were brought from foreign countries also. And manual labor, menial labor people were brought from different states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Bombay. But later they realized they have not maintained community relations properly. They have removed the other state people and started employing the local people. Then automatically it was allowed to function. Al Kabir, a mechanized slaughterhouse, Rudraram, Sangareddy, now maybe Ramachandrapuram district, whatever it is. So this is the best example of not maintaining community relations. And good community relations always fetches. And you know what are the tools for practicing public relations, for maintaining community relations? Now, global relations. What is global relations? Now we were confined to only countries or states. Now, global public relations means going beyond the country, overseas. And it had happened only with the advent of new industrial policy in 1991. That was also the outcome of LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Because of the new economic reforms adopted by the worldwide by all the countries, then the global public relations have started. And the media, as it is, many upcountry media have started operating in country. Our Indian media also have gone abroad. So this is the result of global communication, global public relations, liberalization, privatization, and globalization policy adopted by the governments of various nations at the advice of World Bank of India, UNO, and all these things. You know what is globalization. And specifically, you have industrial policies right from 1948, thereafter 1956, thereafter 1971, then 1981, and 1991 is very, very important. And of course, 2021 industrial policy is also there. But what you should remember is the new industrial policy adopted in 1991 that has envisaged economic liberalization, privatization, and globalization. As a result, foreign direct investments and opening up of the things, delicensing, opening the sectors of manufacture, hitherto exclusively reserved for government departments, now open for public private organizations also. And these are all the things that followed globalization. And then what was the impact of globalization on public relations and corporate communication? The development of digital communication technology apart from this opening up of everything, has paved a new era in the communication and mass media. It has helped for the media, telecommunication, computer industries, or otherwise converted as info communication sector. The internet has already helped this to grow further. So this is all about global public relations. And if you look at international communication agencies, there, UNESCO is one of the international communication organizations. Then ITU, ICU, International Communication Union, International Program for Development of Communication, AMIC, UK, British Broadcasting Corporation, CNN, Cable News Network, Reuters. They have spread their tentacles throughout the world. And what is the advantage of these media houses going abroad, not confining to their own countries, is that the cultural exchange, the communication, the development communication can be made known to each and every country of the world. Then, if you look at communication with publics for any corporation, because we are dealing with corporate public relations and corporate communication, whether the corporation is big or small, the publics include the investors, employees, customers, opinion leaders, competitors, suppliers, government legislators. Opinion leaders, they are very important because their opinion carries weight. Their opinion may not be majority of opinion. Sometimes they are called effective opinion, and it constitutes the majority of public opinion. Even the opinion seems to be a small one, but that could be an effective one. Public relations programs are designed accordingly, taking all these things into consideration. Corporate public relations wing, wherever it is working, should aim at maintaining good relationships and goodwill with each public to gain understanding and acceptance for the organization of goals, policies, programs, products, and services. Now, let us move on to the next lesson, that is corporate social responsibility. By this time, you all know what is CSR, social responsibility. An individual has the responsibility towards the society, towards the nation, towards the community, towards the family. Similarly, a corporate organization will also have to discharge some kind of social responsibility. Earlier, it was in the name of charity or philanthropy. Now it is per force by a statute. Every corporate organization is supposed to discharge the corporate social responsibility. There are areas specified. What are the areas where the corporate social responsibility is to be implemented? You cannot, earlier it was the freestyle doling away of money, giving in charity for distribution of tricycles, distribution of kits, distribution of food, distribution of spectacles, distribution of that and this, or construction of bus shelters, or establishing some summer camps. But now the government, as per the amendment of 213 Companies Amendment Act, they have specified the areas where the amount under corporate social responsibility to be spent and how much. 100 crores turnover or 5 crores profit per annum. And the average profit, 2% of the average profit of the preceding 3 years will have to be spent in specified areas under corporate social responsibility. The areas have been specified. There is no escape now. If the money is not spent, there is a fine imposed by the company regulators, by the government on the corporate which has failed to implement corporate social responsibility. And what is the need for practicing or maintaining or doing corporate social responsibility is it will enhance the public image of the organization in the community or society and such. It will increase media coverage. How it will increase media coverage? It gives an opportunity to invite the media for whatever action you are doing. in practicing corporate social responsibility or doing some activities. Supposing you are planting trees in the village, around the village or around your factory, it gives an opportunity for you to invite the media. It gives an opportunity for you to invite a local leader. It gives an opportunity for you to invite a bureaucrat. Thereby, the media follows and you get publicity free of cost. Instead of giving an advertisement, if you invite media, they come and cover, and that is called advertising value equivalent, AVE. So if some space is so much of money, if you get free of cost this space of coverage, that means you are saving money for the organization. So it increases media coverage and it boosts employee relations because you are involving the employees in the implementation of CSR projects, whatever small or big it may be, community health, community policing, or the health camp, greenery, or any SDGs you are calling as Millennium Development Goals. Some 17 Millennium Development Goals Government of India have created. They are called Sustainable Development Goals and simply Global Goals. They are linked to your corporate social responsibility. In corporate social responsibility also, you are doing only such things that are beneficial not only to yourself, but also the community around and the society at large. So therefore, it increases media coverage, it boosts employee relations, it also attracts, retains investors. Even for investors also, there are certain riders. You have to invest only in such organizations which are practicing corporate social responsibility. Unless these riders are there, I'll be investing my money elsewhere. And if the CSR riders are not there, I will not be spending 3% of my average 3 years profit here in certain areas, specified areas. I'll be doing some other thing or reinvest it. But there is a law to regulate this corporate social responsibility. And it is a source of revenue. Initiatives help a source of revenue for non-profit organizations. A CSR activity adopted, implemented by an NGO, not for profit organization, civil society organizations. It creates some kind of revenue by doing so, because other people, private operators will also help you contribute to that. That way you can strengthen your NGO so that you can do more service to the community. And simply, what is corporate social responsibility? It is a broad term used to describe a company's efforts to improve society in some way. Why you should give to the society? Because any organization, it is coming up in a society, it will be invariably causing some kind of damage to the nature, some kind of damage to the society, some kind of damage to the surroundings already existing, pre-existing. Only to offset that damage, you are taking up some corporate social responsibility activity, giving back to the society, giving back to the nature. This is the principle involved. And for CSR, a good example is the sun. S-U-N, sun, Surya Bhagavan. What the sun is doing, the sun causes heat, sun causes evaporation of moisture, sun causes rain. And rain is very much essential for the life on the earth. So in the process, what the sun is doing is, he is taking moisture from every water body, be it Musi River, be it Hussain Sagar, be it Bangalakatam, be it river, Yamuna River, Krishna River, or Manjira, whatever it is. Even from the rooftop overhead tank and from your body also, the sun extracts money. That is called CSR. We extract money. And then when the rain is given back, it is not given to the same source. From where the moisture has been collected, not in the same amount, not to the same source, but it will give as per some rule, natural principle. Similarly, government also collects taxes according to that is called progressive taxing. If I am well-to-do, if I am as an employee, TDS will be there. If you are an entrepreneur, an industrialist, you have some monies. According to the scale, tax is selected, income tax is collected from you, GST is collected for your business. For me, income tax is deducted at source. But where this money will go, this is an economy. The money will go wherever it is required. Maybe it is Andhra Pradesh, maybe it is Tamil Nadu, maybe it is Sikkim, maybe to some sector, maybe for hospitals, maybe for road laying, maybe for construction of a building, whatever it is. But this is the complexity of social responsibility on behalf of the government already doing that, and also imposed on the corporate organization that you do. I cannot do all these things as government. You also do this. You have the responsibility because you have benefited from the society, from the community. You cause some kind of damage. You have you have encroached into the. You were given some land into the forest. For what you have to do? Replenish it. Replenish it. Supposing you are cutting 10 trees, you plant 100 trees. So this is the ratio. This is all about corporate social responsibility. And I need not tell you what are the organizations that are taking up corporate social, what are the things. Sufficient if you know that what is corporate social responsibility, what is its concept, and how it is beneficial to the organizations, business, and all these things. And now you can see, if you look at the schedule of CSR and sustainability activities, according to Schedule 7 of Companies Act 2013, there are certain categories. One, category 2, eradicating hunger, promoting healthcare, sanitation, making available safe drinking water. Under category 2, promoting education. And category 3, promoting gender equality, empowering women. Category 5, protection of national heritage, art and culture, etc. Category 6, measures for benefit of armed forces, war widows, etc. Category 7, training to promote rural sports, etc., nationally recognized sports. Category 8, contribution to Prime Minister's National Relief Fund that will go for health hazards and other crisis situations. In total, there are 35 activities under 8 categories. Over and above this, you cannot. If you want to do anything over and above this, you have to take permission and see whether they fit into these 38 35 listed categories. So this is corporate giving and also called corporate contribution to the nation or the society. So this is all about corporate social responsibility, and the corporate organization is also a corporate citizen. Just like an individual as a citizen, a corporate organization is also a citizen. It has also some responsibility towards the society in which it is living. And if you come to the next lesson, that is PR in private sector. PR in private sector, there is nothing new. There is nothing new. The same thing. Whatever you practice in public relations, whatever you practice in corporate sector or public sector undertaking, the same thing is practiced in private sector. And again, the new industrial policy 1991, during the regime of P.V. Narasimha Rao, gave a boost to our Indian economy because he is acclaimed as the reformer of the modern India. And it goes with the 1991 industrial policy and also 1992 LPG reforms. What were the objectives of the new industrial policy vis-a-vis the LPG? To liberalize the industry from the regulatory orders such as licenses and control, deregulation, to improve support to small sector units, because the major industries adopt automation, machines, heavy machines. But India is labor surplus country. And we need only labor-oriented industries. And labor-oriented industries are generally small and cottage industries, village industries. That is the concept. Therefore, we improve the support to small sector units and Ankuralu and startups. Startup is a good initiative so that it can come to the rescue of the technocrats, the new generation, Generation Z. It come to the rescue of Generation Z so that their ideas can be converted into some organization that may be of help to the society and the government as well. To encourage foreign companies to allow free competition, to provide more incentives to the industry development, to make public sector more competitive. Earlier, immediately after the independence, government invested into the government organizations, major dams, all under public sector, because employment has to be generated at that point of time. And later, the governments thought that in a mixed economy, there must be a healthy competition between public and private sectors. Therefore, deregularization, delicensing has started. Now there is a healthy competition between government and private sector organizations. Now, if more freedom is given to the private organizations, that will again be a danger not only to the government but also to the nation as well. To make the public sector more competitive, because the existence of in parallel, the existence of the private sector, to increase the productivity, and encourage industries. These are all the objectives. Then salient features, if you look at it: abolition of industrial licenses, de-reservation of industries for public sector. Earlier, defense machinery, arms, ammunition were reserved only for government organizations like DRDO, kind of things. Now, even this thing also, in order to promote the competition and to have the quality and also the productivity at the same time, that has been de-reserved. Earlier, certain mines were given only to the government companies like Singareni collieries, northern coal collieries, and western coal, all these things. Now that has been de-reserved. Even private operators are being given, private miners are being given license for extraction of coal from the earth. Liberalized policy towards foreign capital and technology, that is the result of foreign direct investments. Then workers' participation, creation of productive capacity, industrial development in rural and backward areas. Of course, nationalization helped it. Now we are seeing SEDS, special economic zones and all these things. Growth and development of industries in India, it was key కార్మిది తీసుకుని వెళ్ళండి నా క్లాస్ అయిన తర్వాత వస్తాను. The period has been divided into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, right from 1950 to 51, as far as growth of industry is concerned. The 1950 to 51, 1960 to 65, a high growth phase that has been recorded as such, and industrial deceleration and structural retrogression. That was the period from 1966 to 1980. There was a steep fall in the industrial growth for several reasons. Maybe the reason of 1961 war, 1965, and certain other wars with Pakistan and Bangladesh. These are all the reasons for deceleration of industrial growth. And then after that, from 1981 to 91, it was the period of recovery of industry in India. Now we have recovered. And from 1991 onwards, no looking back. So this is the result of the new industrial climate because of the LPG. Now we have Make in India, Invest in India, Startup India, every other project or scheme or policy implemented by the government only in order to promote the industry. Of course, drawbacks will be there that we cannot judge at this point of time. Only time will tell. After 10 years, you have to look back whether it has caused damage or it has helped for the industrial growth of the country. And growth of private sector is also one of the contributing factors after liberalization for the economic growth of the country. Now, I think we are in the 5th place. We need not go into the other statistics because one side of the picture is bright, the other side of the picture is gloomy. We are economically in the top 5th place as per the GDP and all these things. But we are the poverty capital of the world. India is the poverty capital of the world. And if you take any statistics, anything, and in happiness index, in press freedom industry, we are always beyond 100. Out of 176 countries, our place will be finding in all statistics only after 100, not before 100, except in economic growth. So advantages are there, disadvantages there, but the reasons are many. Maybe for 800 years, Islamic rule, maybe for 200 years, European rule, altogether 1000 years, it has gone. Religion is one reason. language is another reason. There are various reasons that can be attributed for the status as of now the India is. And then what is PPP? What is BOT? BOT? These are all the things you should understand. PPP means public-private partnership. Hyderabad Metro Rail, GMR Airport, these are all under private PPP partnership because government from out of its revenues collected by way of taxes cannot invest into all these things. Even if invested, government cannot run any activity on business lines. Therefore, they may occur losses and that may lead to the shutting of, closing down of the industry. Therefore, for a healthy competition, a PPP model has been brought into force. It gives so that the government control supervision will be there, the management will be by the private operators, and that runs satisfactorily to the satisfaction of the customer, the users, commuters, everybody. What is BOOT? Build, operate, build, own, operate, and transfer. What is build, own, operate, and transfer? Similarly, our Rajiv Gandhi International Airport, our metro rail, they're all called, though they are PPP, but the process is BOOT. They build infrastructure, they own it for some time, as long as the contract period is there. They operate it, they earn revenues, they share with the government, they contribute to the exchequer of the government, and then after some time, either they get renewal or they will transfer it to the government or any of the commissioner or concessionaire that the government suggests. So this is the concept. These are all the results of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. And I need not tell you what is the government relations. Government maintains relations only in order to communicate the policies and programs and schemes of the government, whatever has been announced by the government as per the policy of the party in power, then the feedback is taken and it gets reflected in the elections that will happen every 5 years, or even if the confidence of the people are retained, they will continue. Otherwise, they will get on yielding the place for the other party. This is all about public opinion. If the public opinion is in favor, nothing will cherish. If the public opinion is against, nothing will cherish. So opinion in favor, nothing will perish. Nowadays, you cannot spoil anything. As long as public opinion is in favor, be it organization, be it individual, be it a celebrity, be it a political party, be it a government, whatever it is. So this is where public relations practice lies. We always seek to have favorable public opinion of the targeted public by giving them constant information, by persuading them, by influencing them, not by tactics, not by gimmicks, not by advertisements merely. So what in marketing, what the private people do in advertising, they will just draw the attention in the name of Suchana, creativity, and they will leave it to your discretion. But in government, you cannot do that. You have to clarify until the last doubt. So that is called government public relations. So is the case with corporate communication or corporate public relations. Just 1 or 2 minutes, 1 or 2 questions. I think we have covered all the 3 lessons. The lessons are written in such a manner that they are very easy for you to understand. And we have already discussed all these things heading by heading. Okay. Yes, please. Any questions?
No, sir. We are good.
Thank you. In the next class, next Sunday, we will complete the entire syllabus.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Babji, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good day. Good day. Let's meet next.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.